Finish line on. Welcome back to the start-finish line here on Lake Washington. It's Seattle Seafair 2025, the 2025 Apollo Mechanical Cup at Seafair. And now it is time to go racing for the first time this weekend. We are going to go racing with our Grand Prix America hydroplanes. We've got Heat 1A. Boats are on the water now. There are 4 boats in the water. 2 of them are on the race course right now. We have the GP79 at the top end of the race course. And it appears as though we have Josh Harnack in the Caveman Kitchen out on the course. We still have 2 other boats that are in the pit area, and we are awaiting them to make an appearance. And looking down, I see GP17, Austin Eckert comes away from the dock. Now you're looking there at Jeff Bernard with 325 until the start. Got 3 of the 4 boats on the water right now. And we'll keep an eye on the clock as best we can. All right, so Josh Harnack in the Caveman Kitchen comes along. Let's take a look at our lane assignments for Heat 1A as you look at Josh Harnack as he goes down to the bottom end of the race course with 249, 248 now until the start. It's Grand Prix America Heat 1A in lane number 1 by virtue of the fastest qualifying speed. It's going to be the GP79 Ty Ginger. Ty Ginger, driven by Jeff Bernard. He will be in lane number 1. Then it's going to be the GP17, the Miss Renee. It's a blue and white boat. You might get a look at it coming across start-finish line right now, right there. There it is, the blue and white boat, Miss Renee. That is Austin Eckert. He will be in lane number 2. The GP12, the Caveman Kitchen. It's a yellow boat. It's up at the top end of the race course. Josh Harnack will be our driver of that one. He will be in lane number 3. And if we get the GP5 out on the water, I'm looking at the boat in the pit area. I'm not sure they're going to answer the bell. If they do, the GP5 will be on the far outside. It will be driven by Chris Grant. 150 until the start. The boats are cutting the race course now from back to front. That's a legal maneuver here in our Grand Prix class. They will cut the race course, and it is all now about timing a start to the start-finish line the next time they come by. Keep an eye on Harnack. He is running up the backstretch right now, and he's going to cut the course now and come over. Oh, and Harnack, I thought maybe we lost him there for a moment, but we did not. He is going. So 3 of our 4 boats are on the water. Harnack trails the field, but he is in good shape, coming up on 110 until the start. You see at the bottom of the screen there, Bernard is in 1. That is Eckert in 2. It's going to be Harnack in lane 3. He will come up behind those 2 boats and slot to the far outside. The idea now in Grand Prix racing, put your boat on the start-finish line when the clock strikes 0. And have a whole lot of boat speed. Don't jump the clock, you get a penalty. Don't be late, you'll be last to the first turn. 44 seconds until the start. The boats are in a perfect position now, straight across the race course from me. And we will just have to watch. This is all about the timing marks that they ran earlier today. They tested how long it would take them to get from point A to point B. They know where those points are. Point B is the finish line, or the start-finish line here. We're 22 seconds away from it now. Eckert is going to go way out in front. Bernard is holding back. He's way back. Has Bernard got a problem? No, here comes Jeff. Now Jeff's going to come up behind the field on the inside. He's got the short way around, but did he give him too much of a lead? Not sure. Looks like Bernard might be a little late. Here comes Jeff on the inside. Eckert's going to break the clock, but watch for Jeff on the inside. There he goes right there. Jeff jumps into the lead. I thought maybe Jeff was going to be late to the line, but no, it turned out he had the best timing marks of anybody and the clean start. The start was legal. Wasn't sure it was going to be that way, but it's Bernard coming out of the bottom end of the race course first, and he's already opened up about a 4 or 5, making a 6 boat length lead. He is moving away from Austin Eckert. Jeff Bernard on the first of 3 times around this race course. Eckert doesn't want to let him go. He's coming hard on the outside. Eckert's got a lot of boat speed at the top end of the race course. His acceleration off the corner was allowing him to give ground, and I think we've got 2 boats in there. We do indeed. Harnack is on the outside and hanging right with him. The race is for second place, and it's a dandy. Bernard comes across in first, but there you're looking at the GP17 and Josh Harnack on the outside, that Caveman Kitchen. Renee on the inside, Caveman Kitchen on the outside. The race is for second place. Oh, and you've lost Harnack. Harnack has lost power. He is pulling off of the race course, and that is a tough break because that was going to be a good race. And now Bernard is down. You've lost Jeff Bernard. Another tough break for Jeff Bernard. GP79 to Ty Ginger, and now it is all awesome Austin Eckert all by himself. And he's got radio guys here on the tower that are telling him what's going on. Just take it easy and come down and finish. Wow, tough turn of events here as Jeff Bernard lost power right after we lost Josh Harnack at the completion of lap number, that would have been the completion of lap number 1. They are indeed on the final lap right now, and it's Austin Eckert, and you could tell as he came by, he's going very slowly. He does not want the same fate that was just bestowed on his 2 competitors in that one. Tough break. That was going to be an excellent, excellent race, and unfortunately we didn't get to see it finish. There you are, looking at the GP17, Austin Eckert just trying to make sure everything stays together. And there you look down on a very dejected, I am sure, Josh Harnack in the GP12, the Caveman Kitchen. So now it's up to Austin Eckert just to negotiate the upper corner. He is at the apex. He will come down now, and he will put 400 points in the books. A good start to the weekend for GP17. Miss Renee, Austin Eckert, and he cruises, and I mean cruises across start-finish line for a victory in our Heat 1A. Unfortunately, we had in that heat as well, we had a did not start to the GP5 and Chris Grant, and then we had a did not finish to both the GP79 and the GP12. So tough break there in the GP class. 3 started, 1 finished, 1 did not start. So tough one there, but Austin Eckert knows how this game is played. He will take it. So that was our Heat 1A of Grand Prix America Racing. Next up on deck is our Heat 1B. Let's take a look at the boats that will come out in that one on our inside lane. Inside lane will be GP10. Kevin Eckert, that's the boat with the interesting silhouette, if you will. They call the boat the Freak. The Freak, GP10. Kevin Eckert out of Edmonds. He will be in lane number 1. Then in lane number 2, GP15. Greg Hopp will be driving the Happy-Go-Lucky Racing Old Trapper Beef Jerky. He will be in lane number 2. And rounding out our 3-boat field will be the GP135, the West Mobile Equipment Repair Company, GP135, also known as Cool Cat Motorsports, and driver John Shaw out of Centerville, Maryland. So it'll be the GP10 in lane 1, GP15 in lane 2, and lane 3 and on the outside will be John Shaw in the 135 Cool Cat Motorsports. That's what's coming up next, but we got to clean this. We got to clean the course here a bit. We got a couple of boats that are going to have to get drove to the infield. Jeff Bernard is kneeling over the back of his boat now, and he is looking back. Here's a good look at it there. You can see Jeff on his hands and knees there. I don't know if is he looking back to see if he lost perhaps a propeller. Not quite sure. But he's not a happy camper there as he gets back up and walks back up toward. If he lost the blade on the propeller over in the Tri-Cities on the U12, Then he got a did not finish in the final, and then a did not finish here in his first heat. Never a good sign when they head to the back of the boat and look at it like that. We are going to take, I think, a look back at that race, and if we get a good look at the start, and here are the boats cruising around. This is before the start. You got the two boats close together, and that is Austin Eckert and Jeff Bernard. You're waiting for Josh Harnack to come up and catch up with them. He eventually does, and when they hit the line right there, you see the GP17, but watch Bernard jump out. There he goes. Bernard had all the boat speed sitting on the inside lane, and he was able to get past Austin Eckert before they got to the lower end of the race course. And that was pretty much it until such time as coming down to complete lap number 1, Josh Harnack lost power in the GP12. He drifted off the race course down toward the south end, and then coming out of that very same corner on the same lap, suddenly we noticed the GP79, the Ty Ginger, went down, and Jeff Bernard's race was over. The recipient of all of this was awesome Austin Eckert in the GP17, the Miss Renee. So Jeff's going to get a pull back to the pit area as we can. We're having a couple of issues here up on the tower. We're trying to correct those as fast as we can. But in the meantime, we'll just keep talking about Grand Prix America Heat 1A, and coming up next, it's Grand Prix Heat 1B. This is the first time Grand Prix have been a part of Seafair for a number of years. I do not remember the last time they were here, but they are here now, and it's good to have them back. The people do enjoy the closest relative, if you will, to our H1 Unlimited Hydros, the Grand Prix America boats. We've got 7 of them in the pit area. 4 were supposed to answer the bell there. Our 7th boat was the 4th one in our Heat 1A. That was the GP5 and Chris Grant. Unfortunately, the boat is in the water still. They haven't yet pulled it out of the water, but they were unable to answer the bell. So we will get a clock countdown when we are ready to go for Heat 1B, but I don't think it's going to come real quick. I'm told now via some hand signals it is on hold, and I'm sure that is due to a couple of boats that have to be towed in. Jeff Bernard is pretty much across the race course from us here on start-finish line, and Harnack is off the race course. He's way down past the south end. He's going to get a tour of the fans down there and a good opportunity to wave at some people, but I'm sure he would have much rather finished in the top 2 or 3. So tough break for Josh Harnack and Jeff Bernard. Looking at our activity in the pit area, the GP5, Chris Grant's boat, is being now lifted out of the water. They did have it in the lake, but they unfortunately were unable to answer the bell. That's too bad because they had trailer fired. Got a countdown coming of sorts. And we are 6 minutes away from the start of our Heat 1B, 6 minutes. So inside 1 to the 5, we will have boats out on the water in less than a minute. It is Grand Prix America, Heat 1B. Take a look at them again. GP10, that's going to be the Freak with Kevin Eckert. This could be a good heat because that boat's been running really well. Kevin Eckert's going to be on an inside lane in the GP10, the Freak. GP15, Greg Hopp, the old Trapper Beef Jerky, that low-profile old boat, is going to be in lane number 2. GP was a winner last weekend over in the Tri-Cities. And rounding out our 3-boat field, the GP135, the West Mobile Equipment Repair Company, GP135, the Cool Cat Motorsports. Here comes the countdown mark. I think that was the 5-minute mark. .444 until the start. Grand Prix. Cool Cat Motorsports GP 135 away from the dock. That is the first boat coming out. It's the blue one with the little tail effect on it. Blue and black. Boat out of Maryland, John Shaw from Centerville, Maryland to be specific. The boat is owned by Ed Thompson in Street, Maryland. Still waiting for the other two boats, the GP10, the Freak, and the GP15, Happy Go Lucky Racing Old Trapper Beef Jerky. I see the Old Trapper Beef Jerky is in the water. I believe Kevin Eckrich's ride is on the other side of the pit area that I can't see. Here comes Greg. He is away from the dock now. That is the low-profile yellow hydroplane. He is away. We'll keep an eye on the far side of the pit area there for Kevin Eckrich. But Greg is up and away. Up the backstretch, Cool Cat Motorsports. There you get a look at Greg Hopp coming away from the pit area, and here comes Kevin Eckrich. We got the GP10. The Freak is away from the dock as well. He comes out on the other side from Greg Hopp. So the Hopper and Eckrich are down toward the bottom end of the race course. John Shaw up at the top end of the race course with 3:13 until our start. Shaw's making a timing run at the line. He's coming hard. As you look at our other two boats at the bottom end of the race course, Shaw will come down and join them shortly as he ran hard to the start-finish line and then pulled his foot. He is just entering the lower corner as our other two boats are just coming off of what we call the south turn. There you're looking at John Shaw with 2:45 till the start. Looking at the Cool Cat Motorsports GP 135, got some sponsorship money from West Mobile Equipment Repair Company. We appreciate their participation in the sport. Looking at the other two boats, it's a slow roll up the backstretch for all three of them right now. You're looking at the two boats out front. The boat on the left there was Kevin Eckrich, and then behind him was that yellow boat. Sticks out well in a late afternoon sun here. That would be the GP15 and Greg Hopp. 2:10 to the start of Grand Prix America, Heat 1B. GP10, GP15, and GP 135. Coming up on 2 minutes to the start. See our boats there are getting lined up. John Shaw's going to come around on the outside of Kevin Eckrich. He's going to make another charge to the line. They got the clock, the camera right on him there. GP 135. See if he doesn't pull his foot. There he does. Kevin Eckrich still doing a slow roll across start finish right now. And where's Greg? Greg's just coming off the top end of the course. So those guys are crawling. You're looking at Cool Cat Motorsports. That's John Shaw. He's coming off the south end of the race course. And the other two guys are just taking a slow stroll here. Now John Shaw's going to cut the race course from the back to the front. John Shaw's going to make a cut from the back to the front. That's a legal maneuver, and he will slot himself to the far outside. He's got to be on the outside of our other two boats. Remember, the lanes are assigned when we go Grand Prix America racing. So they don't have to worry about pulling up behind the field and not being able to find a lane for them to run in, because that lane is assigned to him. It will be there. And when I'm talking about him, I'm talking about Greg Hopp. He doesn't have to worry about finding a slot in there. So going to be Eckrich in 1, Hopp in 2, Shaw in 3. Boats are up the backstretch, good position. They still haven't really bunched up together. We're 30 seconds away from the start. And here comes Greg Hopp up behind the field. That's the yellow boat in the far right-hand side of your screen. He's going to pull up alongside Eckrich, and now all three of them are bunched up together. Great shot there from the drone as they enter the top end of the race course. Inside 15 seconds, coming up on 11. As they get to the exit pin, we'll see how they fan out and come down. Eckrich might have the start if he's on time. We are 4, 3, 2, 1. Mark, it appears to be legal, and if it is, Kevin Eckrich nailed a great start in the Freak. Kevin Eckrich, a great start, and apparently it is clean. I get thumbs up from the officials here. Eckrich's going to get down to the corner first. He's going to come out of it first, and he is all by himself. Oh, and Hopp got wet. Hopp was back there in third position, and he got wet. He has dropped down. He went through the rooster tail, I believe, of John Shaw, who was just to his right and on the outside. So now it's all Egret by a rooster tail over Shaw into Cool Cat Motorsports, but John Shaw has got other ideas. He wants to try and run down Kevin, and he's coming hard. Radio guys are going to tell Kevin Shaw is right near right side mirror. He is coming, and he's coming hard. But right now, Kevin Egret driving a freak, and it's running really, really well. He's still got a rooster tail on Shaw. Shaw was closing up the backstretch on the last lap, but now he seems to have given a little bit of ground, although he clearly has not given up. Egret's going to come off the corner there, look to his left, and he's that would have been his right. I thought he was going to go past Hop. Thought Hop had maybe gotten to the infield, but he has not. They both went inside. Greg Hop, they know he is down. They know he's dead in the water, and you just lost John Shaw. John Shaw just dropped down in the Cool Cat Motorsports. Watch for Kevin Egret to pull his foot. The guy standing right here on my right will tell him to back it down, as he is the only boat still running on the race course. There's a lot of smoke up the backstretch where John Shaw's motor let go. So this one's going to belong to the freak, Kevin Egret. And he is on the final lap. He's just got to negotiate it. We saw the speed with which Austin Egret handled his last lap when he was all alone. He was barely trolling speed. I don't expect Kevin to go a whole lot faster. There's just no reason to risk breaking anything, so he slowly will run up the backstretch. Kevin Egret in the GP10, the freak. I am going to say he was the recipient of a couple of boats not being there, but quite frankly, when he was running and they were all running, Kevin Egret had the lead. The freak was running really well. He had a tremendous start, took the field down to the lower corner, and it was over pretty much right there. Unfortunately, Greg Hop never got out of the lower end of the race course before he got wet, and his boat went dead in the water the next lap. We lost John Shaw. Checkered flag flies. It is Kevin Egret, the GP10, a boat we call the Freak. So unfortunately, we had a couple of races set up to be some pretty good runners, but we ended up just with one boat finishing each one. However, both are from the camp of Richards Racing, and the two radio guys walk out of here with a smile on their face, although they would have liked to have won that one, or both of them, on the water. So that's it for our Heat 1A and Heat 1B of our Grand Prix America hydroplanes. They will get the boats towed in. I see we're still towing in Josh Harnick from the previous heat. I take that back. He is now back to the pit area, but we're towing in other boats. We've had 4 boats drop down in 2 heats of racing. Looking at the 135 broken down, that boat is about halfway up the backstretch. It's almost dead straight across from where we are at the start-finish line. A very disappointed John Shaw. I mentioned last week they had mechanical issues with that boat. The boat couldn't really seem to get out of its own way, and they spent some time on it Saturday night, felt they had found the problem. The boat ran much better on Sunday. I know they did work on it here when they got across the Cascade Mountains and into the Puget Sound region, and they worked on the boat, brought it out here, but obviously they are going to be very disappointed with how that heat ended for them. So we're looking there still at John Shaw. There is Greg Hop. Greg Hop in the GP15, Old Trapper Beef Jerky. Again, they were the winners last week in the Tri-Cities. Greg always behind the wheel of that one. Our pit reporter, Brent Hall, has spent time behind the wheel of that particular hydroplane. But most recently, it has been Greg Hop. His father is on the hook to him, talking him through the race on the radio. But unfortunately, on that one, they're going to get a DNF and no points. So it's a tough one for Hop Racing and the GP15. So what was very loud on the race course just a few minutes ago is suddenly gone quiet. Greg now going to get that slow troll back across the race course, and he's got a ways to go. He is just outside the exit pin of the south turn. So they will turn him around and bring him straight back into the pit area. And as I said, that's going to do it for our Grand Prix America racing today. We'll have much more racing coming tomorrow for our Grand Prix. And of course, tomorrow, first thing to do in the morning is qualifying for our H1 Unlimited hydroplanes. They will be on the water. Qualifying, we'll have some testing then after that, and then we're going to go racing with Heats 1A, 1B, 2A, 2B for our H1 Unlimited hydroplanes. It's the 2025 Apollo Mechanical Cup at Seafair. Getting a good look at the pit area there. It's like a small city that gets erected down there in the Stansairs Memorial Pits. There you're looking at some of the hospitality areas here that are just in the city. The lagoon, a big hospitality area there. Some of the skyboxes you saw in the picture there behind Jeff Bernard, who has just made it back a little bit out of the picture. You see Bernard there at the top of the screen. GP10, Kevin Ekert at the bottom in the Freak. So that's the story of Grand Prix America, Heat 1A and Heat 1B. You see the crowd lining the edges there in front of the skyboxes where they get a great view of things, and they get a great view of the pit area and the boats going in and out. So everybody has a different perch here where they want to find where they can get the best view to watch our racing here. So there you're looking at the monitor. You've got Jeff Bernard and Kevin Ekert back at the dock. So getting quiet. We're seeing some of our patrol boats beginning to move off of the race course. That's going to mean that the air show is going to kick into a little bit of a higher gear. That will be coming up. We still have the So before we get the air show going here, and the fact that we have our Grand Prix America Heat 1A and Heat 1B in the books, before we get loud and proud with the air show, I promised before we went to our break that we would get to an interview or interviews that we had with Jimmy Johnson after his historic ride in the Atlas Van Lines, the former Blue Blaster, the boat that he was placed on by his father as a 4-year-old child in 1979 at San Diego Bay Fair. And he came back today to Lake Washington to drive it. It was a terrific show. The boat ran beautifully. A bit of a difficulty getting the boat started, but once he got it started, he knew how to make it go. He knew how to turn it left. He had an awful lot of fun. Let's go to the post interview with Jimmy Johnson, 7-time NASCAR champion.
All right, I am here with the legendary Jimmy Johnson. You know, a lot of us were asking on the shore, like, does a guy like you get nervous?
Yeah, they're butterflies, but it's different. It's not a element of competition, the pressure that comes with it. It's just around new experience and making sure I don't look like a fool out there. Sure. And getting these things started has never been easy. Of competition ahead of me, but It's really just pulling on my my brain and my heartstrings and the memories I had as a young boy. The race in San Diego always fell on my birthday, and that was my birthday present. And so to grow up watching the Thunderboats and seeing, you know, a lot of the boats that are here behind me in the water today, you know, pulls on my heartstrings. And then the relationship that I've had with the Muncie family over the years behind me in the, you know, this moment. Watching the Thunderboats and seeing, you know, a lot of the boats that are here behind me in the water today, you know, pulls on my heartstrings. And then the relationship that I've had with the Muncie family over the years, you know, this extremely special, and very thankful to everyone involved that's put this program together. Some of our NASCAR partners have come on board as well to help put a finishing touch on this with Carvana. It's just incredible. I'm so happy to be here.
Oh man, and you know, I saw the picture of you as a child. I mean, that's got to be coming full circle. So talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah, as I mentioned, we would always go to the boat races, and Bill's boat broke down and floated to a stop right in front of us. And of course we ran out in the water, and I sat on the deck of the boat. And then through some other walks of life, we were able to get to know the Muncies quite well, and my dad actually would take Ed Muncie and myself racing motocross all up and down the California coastline, essentially. And gosh, I've had Christmas dinners at the Muncie home, and just layer and layer that after Bill's passing, I was able to really get to know the family through Ricky Johnson, who was dating Laura Muncie. And then Ed and I were busy racing dirt bikes, and my dad was taking care of us. So it's just wild to have this all come together now.
It really is, you know, and I think back, I mean, I'm a fan, and I used to grow up right over there, and so to see you in the boat, this is a big thing. And to the legends like Bill Muncie and all the others, we're so proud of you. That's step one. A few more steps to go, and we're going to get you in the Blue Blaster.
Yeah, I can't wait. As I mentioned, it's I mean, where I'm in my career, there are these bucket list items that I want to experience. And in my racing career, I was so busy worried about the next event and the pressure that comes with competing. And now I'm at a point to take it in, and today is going to be that.
Come on, Jimmy, you can get her rolling. There you're getting a good look at Jimmy with that bright orange helmet as he heads up the backstretch. Jimmy's really got it up and running. Jimmy Johnson is going to take the checkered flag. Wow. Jimmy looking good. The boat looks good. He looks good. There's a wave.
I heard Ed Muncie say magic moments. That's what we saw out there. What was it like for you?
It was a magic moment. I'd hoped to get the boat started quickly and drive off like a professional, and I didn't quite have that part under control.
That's still professional.
I got it up and going, and you know, found that first lap or so just trying to understand how the boat felt and throttle response and kind of the sweet spot that Chip talked about when you get up on a plane. And once I got into that spot on the straightaways, it was time to play with the corners. And for me, I was just really surprised how physical it was inside the boat. The way the boat digs in and starts hopping and bouncing and get back in the throttle and try to get going again. It's a fair amount of work in there, way more than I anticipated.
It is, but I'll tell you, from the fans' perspective, you looked extremely smooth. We're hearing speeds in the 140s, so you were moving, dude. We were just blown away. You jumped into a hydroplane like you've been driving it for years. That's what the experts were saying.
They made a mistake and shared with me what the high RPM mark could be. They told me what they wanted me at, but then they shared the range. I kind of fished it out of them.
Sure.
So I knew.
We're just blown away. You jumped into a hydroplane like you've been driving it for years. That's what the experts were saying.
They made a mistake and shared with me what the high RPM mark could be. They told me what they wanted me at, but then they shared the range. I kind of fished it out of them.
Sure.
So I knew where the limit was.
Okay,
So I went
right.
straight to that. Gosh, that was fun. It was such a special moment. So much fun.
Oh, spoken like a true driver, and I think I'll close with this. I saw you put your feet in the water. Was that a reenactment of something?
Yeah, just kind of going back to that moment as a kid, sitting on the back of the boat, and I've been dying to put my feet in the water and experience elements of this. Finally got to do that there at the end. It was awesome.
Yeah, we're so proud of you. A ton of people ready to interview you, but I got a chance to do it. We are, again, you're part of hydroplane history. Well done, and thank you.
Thank you. Such a special moment. Thank you to all the fans for tuning in, and a very special day for me.
Back here on the start-finish line, Brad Luce with the H1 Unlimited live stream team. We are at the start-finish line and on the start-finish line tower above the Ted Jones Racecourse here on Lake Washington in Seattle, Washington. An absolutely beautiful, gorgeous day here, looking across the water at a log boom that is jammed up toward the north end full of boats. It's a scene that happens once a year in Seattle. It is called the Seattle Seafair, and it began in Seattle in 1950. The unlimited hydroplanes came to race on Lake Washington in 1951. That's when all of this went down for the very first time, and a tradition was started that continues today. And as I said this morning at the beginning of the broadcast, for those of us of a certain vintage and from here in Seattle, when we have hydroplanes on Lake Washington, all is right in Hydroland. And it's going to be right in Hydroland for the next couple of days, because this is just day 1 of 3, and we are done right now on the water. We will not have any more activity. We ran Heat 1A and 1B of our Grand Prix America boats, but tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock, the course will open quickly. Our H1 Unlimited hydroplanes will come out and take care of their qualifying process. Then we will open up the course for testing, and then it will be a busy day for racing. And again, we're talking H1 Unlimiteds. We will go Heats 1A, 1B, 2A, and 2B before we bring the curtain down on day 2. But that's all tomorrow. But we're done on the water for now. We're glad you joined us. We hope you enjoyed our show. We're going to be back tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. This is Brad Luce for the entire H1 Unlimited live stream team. And don't want to forget Brent Hall down in the pit area. Great job with that Jimmy Johnson interview. That was a tough interview to get because there was more than a few hundred people that wanted to talk to that young man. So a great day here on behalf of Brent Hall and the H1 Unlimited live stream team. This is Brad Luce from Lake Washington saying we'll see you tomorrow morning. Good night, everybody.